So, we're going to go over each fight. I'm going to talk about them. I'm going to obviously take your opinions as well. I'm going to move this, like, over here. I'm going to move chat over here. There we go. Perfect. Wait. That's not going to work, because I need to do it on this scene. Professional streamer, by the way. So.
We should.
I'm going to start with P8S. The modern imagining begins? Nah, man. Overall, I like this tier. I do. Anyway, I'm gonna turn the music off. And we're gonna watch, and I'm gonna talk as we go. So, this is our first clear of P8S.
Yeah.
No, we're good, yeah. Took us about 2.5 hours to clear, something like that. Pretty good. Honestly, overall, good first fight. I like that this fight. I like that the first fight isn't like a fucking tutorial, you know? It's not like Ramu, E5S, also a good first floor in my opinion. I liked this. I think they did really well with the mechanics here generally. Like, and the visual clarity. I don't know how I feel about the visual clarity in this fight. Like, it looks good. But like, sometimes it's kinda hard to see. Sometimes there's a bit too much going on. Like, you'll see what I mean in a bit. So when we saw this satiety meter, we were immediately like, right, surely he's gonna eat something, right? Because satiety is, you know, hunger. So that was a cool addition we noticed from the start, and I was like, oh shit, like, they really went all out on this fight. And our prediction was correct. They started on this arena as well. Which is cool. There was no cage shit. It was just this arena. So I thought that was nice too. The reflect mechanics I think were pretty well done. I like that you had to use your eyes a lot. I don't know. Again, like, I don't know how easy it is to see. I'm not really sure. A lot of spreading and stacking in the fight. It feels very, you know, it's pretty standard stuff generally. But the reflect thing is like a really cool touch, and I think like that mechanic in itself really lent to this fight's creativity. So like here you have a knockback, and depending on the side you might have to move through the wall. So not to get reflected, because they go off at different times. So like we lost one straight away here. But I think that was pretty cool. It's easy enough for a first floor, retain the novelty of the gimmick. Yeah, and like the DPS check is very lenient as well. As is usually the case for a first floor. Like, even if a first floor is mechanically more difficult, like the DPS check is super easy. So overall, like, I was pretty happy with this fight. I thought it was good. I'll talk about PF later. I'll talk about PF at the end. I'm just going to go through my experiences. So this is where you have to find out. I got a damage down. Nice job, me.
Such a debate.
So, like, one of my issues of this fight, and I think it's like this because it's a first floor and it's being kind, is that, like, the reflect goes off several times. So when you see the animation, you can't walk into it yet. Because you get a damage down. Because it's going off like several times. At least like twice. And that mechanic there, I think only actually has like 2 or 3 patterns. I'm not really sure. Like, my knowledge of the first few fights is not that great because we've gone through them pretty fast. So, like, you guys that are PFing or you're spending, or you're, like, more casually progging, seeing more of the fight are actually probably going to know more about it than me. But, yeah, it's... But it's weird. And that mechanic is cool. It's just hard to see. Like, if they spawn behind you, it's hard to see. And I think that's one of my complaints, but I could also just turn my camera. But it's quite a difficult mechanic to, like, get your head around. So, like, as you can see, like, we had plenty of damage downs, and we cleared very comfortably. Also, okay, so... Let's talk about this mechanic for a minute. Let's talk about Devour. So, eventually, we figured out it's just 2 patterns. But my god, is this the most obnoxious fucking mechanic ever. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, the snapshotting feels weird. And it's only 2 patterns, so you can get used to it. Once you realize you can stay closer to the middle and have a shorter path, like, it's easier. But Jesus, like, keeping track of this is weird until you realize, like, it's pattern recognition. At first glance, it looks hard because you think, man, this could go anywhere. But it doesn't. It's just 2 patterns. The brain dead strats. See, this is what I mean. Like, you guys are now privy to, like, good strats or, like, brain dead strats.
That's right. 2, 1.
And then we realize, wait, like, he's hungry. So, like, we need to leave a tower. Surely, right? And that's exactly what we did, and it worked. That was pretty cool. Apparently, he casts a raid wide and kills you if you don't do that. So that's a pretty cool, like, enrage sort of thing. I like that touch. Because you're dead? Yeah, exactly. Overall, I think it's cool. I think it's a good midpoint. But I just like how every reflect mechanic felt slightly different. I honestly think that's cool. It's useless. I mean, I can see that. Yeah, like, does it need to be there? Not really. But I think it's just to, like, make it less cryptic. I think it's there so when you wipe to not feeding him, you're like, why did we wipe? So I think it's literally there. So you kind of have a timer down to when you need to be ready for that mechanic. And also to make it less cryptic, because it's the first floor, right? Yeah. So, like, it does feel somewhat pointless. Like, I don't disagree. But I understand why it's there. What does he do if he stays at 0? Apparently just casts a raid wide and kills you. You know, because he got hangry. Hungry and angry. So... yeah, like, this fight didn't take too long. It was like a lockout and... lockout and like 2/3.
No, you
about 2.5 hours to figure out.
No, well, we always have to move room.
Yep, away from the...
can only move the one room.
You just stay. All I can say is thank God these like orange AoEs are there. Otherwise, you'd never be able to fucking see.
Spread. It's a spread. Wait,
Go. Spread. I think it's overall pretty good. I like this fight. I'm looking forward to this in PF, even though I know it's going to be a mess.
Thanks, Renee. Thanks, Renee.
Love you, come through to me.
Yo, I am here.
Ruby Glow 5. Alright, so this is something I will mention about PF Red already. I'm seeing fucking Ruby Glow number X. I'm seeing Forbidden Fruit like fucking 6. Like, who the fuck is keeping count? Jesus Christ. Like, this is obviously something I'm gonna have to learn. Who the fuck is counting these? The one that just happened is 5. So it's the one with Venom. With like the Venom Surge or Venom Squall, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm like, for Jesus Christ, man. Like, I don't know if this is like Square Enix being bad at naming mechanics, or if like, or if it's something else. There's 7. My fucking god.
Still get the other one. Still get the other one.
Like Jesus.
Going.
Alright, we're good. Pull to tail.
Behind. Wait.
Definitely not a very clean clear, but it was a good clear, man. I enjoyed this.
Next is Venom Pool, but with Quadrant. After this.
Okay.
So look, past me knows what's coming. Right now, I have no idea what's coming. I don't remember. 5 to 7 reclears next week are gonna be fucking hilarious.
I think so, yeah.
Like, I don't remember shit.
And again, Bird is close to middle, Silk is far away.
Yep.
Same groups.
Unfortunately.
What's up, Coops?
Hello.
Elemental Break 10.
It doesn't.
You know, that's funny, because people didn't call it Elemental Break numbers back then. And Elemental Break unironically casted 10 times. 10 different times. But the last part of V11 in general was just called Cycles, because it was just E2S all over again. P8S was like 20 deaths. Nice. Nice. I assume you did it on alts. Yeah, we're not doing that until next week. We can't be asked.
Matter, like, don't care about that.
People are just taking a break.
Which one has to do it?
Top right?
Yeah, cool fight,
one,
man.
one,
Like, I enjoy it. I think this
Bird
fight
goes
is good.
so far.
I like this idea of killing the crystals as well. Like, it's very...
Yeah, I went to a different one.
Switch room, switch room.
Watch for the thing. Watch for the thing.
Switch poison pools.
It's kind of
Something
intuitive.
double
I
rush
like
back.
it.
We need to get knocked
Yeah,
in
yeah.
3. Behind him first, behind him first.
Anti-knockback,
Not
anti-knockback.
outside.
Good stuff, good stuff.
We were in panic here because we were like, we had no idea what was coming. Like, these last mechanics, like, we...
Dude,
As soon as we got to, like, 30% the first time, we just killed him.
I'm gonna be here.
I'm just saying, get the fuck away.
They did not as much as I wanted to.
There it is. Pretty cool, man.
Keep it on me, I'll just LD anything that comes.
And then he casts Venom Surge. It's like, man, we're nowhere near the
Stack,
enrage.
stack, stack, stack.
Yeah, really cool fight, man.
It would be unfortunate, yes.
Yeah,
Good
but-
first floor.
They both start with S, dude. It's a fucking bait.
Oh no, it's walls.
And I got an earring from this fight, man. I got an earring. Very cool. Alright. P6. P6. I have words about this fight. I have words about this fight. Let's go. So,
Did you say it's about?
I'm not good at finding safe spots.
Yeah, it's like 1040.
So when you're figuring out this fight for the first time, and you're like, when you're figuring this out for the first time, and like you don't have the time to figure out patterns and like, you know, possible solutions, which you know people will know by now. Like it's pretty scary. And like trying to find safe spots in this fight when you're going so fast it's kind of hard. But I think this is a somewhat enjoyable fight. Somewhat. You know, it gives you like a tiny tutorial at the start here. You know, a little bit of what to expect. I like that they focused on a bit of visual clarity here. They still kind of fucked up, but like it's not bad. Right. I mean, well, number one, like bad visual clarity. Number two. The strats I'm hearing about around this mechanic are already making me angry. and I've not stepped foot into PF yet. I'm not stepping foot into PF this week, probably. But my fucking god. PF, you and me are gonna fall out. You remember Elmo? Well, it's about to get worse. I've seen Mario Kart pathogenic cells. Fucking stop, you fucking morons! Do you not care about your casters? Do you not care about fucking, like, positionals and shit? Do you not care? Like, what the fuck? Stop! And, like, the person who I won't name, but they're being named in chat, I see it, who published this strat and made no effort to say, yo, this is a prog strat, not recommended in every single one of my clears. Early strats, not optimized and not recommended for Party Finder. Do your fucking due diligence as a content creator before you go for the easy views. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Do you realize the influence you have over Party Finder? Do you realize that when people are progging this early in PF, the first strats that go up on YouTube are the ones that are gonna be fucking used? Do your fucking due diligence as a creator, and if you know you've made a dog shit strat, and this is a dog shit strat, it's fine for prog. That's fine, you're just fucking getting through it. But don't recommend it to others. Speaking of guides, here's my pet peeve I've seen done as of recently this tier. If you do not know how to resolve a mechanic, do not release a guide for it. It's bad form to say in your guide, I don't understand this mechanic, so do a sack strat. Rin on my hero! Thank you! If you... I am in shock that creators out there cannot do even the slightest degree of due diligence and discourage Party Finder and more casual groups from imitating prog strats. These cannot become a norm. Before you go for easy views, please consider the influence that you have. There we go. Thank you. Like, Jesus. Holy fucking shit. Right, here's the strat we came up with. And it's so much better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Problem solved. Jesus Christ. Mario Kart strats are fucking bin tier. It's fine for prog. You get through the fight how by any means necessary, but don't fucking go to YouTube for easy views and not denounce that your strats are bad. We'll get back to this when we talk about sack strats, but I'm gonna say it now. If you do sack strats in PF, you're fucking garbage. And time mechanic is bad for melee uptime. It is, but like, there's a difference between this and fucking Mario Kart. Oh my fucking Christ. Like, it's just tank DD, but worse. Anyway, I just had to get that out. I'll get back to this in a bit. Again, I like that they've worked on visual clarity here. I like this. This is good. They've definitely learnt from last tier. Like with P8S. I like the reverse stuff. I like that it keeps you thinking. My brain is just really bad at it sometimes, man. Like, it is just super fucking bad. Onto the boss isn't spinning around all the time. Yeah, like, I've heard of other strats that are also good. Like, is ours perfect? No. No, it's not. Obviously. But, like, Jesus fucking Christ, the shit people will do. I just really hope it doesn't become common in PF, but it's liable to, put it that way. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, this fight's cool, it's just, it feels long. It feels like E10S all over again. Like, E10S, just like, it just felt long because no mechanic was particularly interesting. And it could mindfuck you, so I'm having to focus because I don't know, like, all the base patterns that it can be, so you can more quickly recognize, like, the safe spots and shit. Like, obviously that will get better with time, but it feels like E10S in a way.
Going west.
Made a spreadsheet of the patterns. Yeah, like, that's good. Like, I think that will help in the long run.
Oh, my shoulder!
I think that will help. I just know I'm gonna get really mad at PF. I know it. Like, I'll talk more about PF later. But, like, this tier's gonna be tough for the mental, you know what I mean? Alright, are we at Cachexia yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Oh, I think it's after this. This is what I mean, man. Like, this, like, the first half of this fight especially just felt so long. Poly 3? Good. How many polys are there? Like, fucking 69? I think naming conventions this tier need work. I definitely agree with that. I think their naming mechanics definitely needed work. Like, Jesus Christ. It's after this, okay. Such a filler mechanic. Yeah, I mean, like, you can tell they're padding time a bit. Alright, here we go. So, Cachexia. Took us a little bit to work out, but our monk had to go on an IRL endeavor around this time. So we had time to sit down and look at it. And, yeah, closest bait's pretty good. Like, I think this is probably the best mechanic in the fight. I think it's pretty good.
Opposite color.
God, I actually hate YouTube compression, man. Like, they actually fuck up my VoDs so bad. We have a fairly decent mechanic. I think that's pretty good. I don't have...
Oh.
a lot else to say about this fight apart from
And this is Bates and Big A.
this tier has a problem.
Double cross.
And its problem is 6 and 7. They have not learnt from the mistake they made in Eden's verse, where they decided to backload a fight. The music? No. I mean, the music, right, if you want me to comment on the music, sure. The music's good. I like the music. But it will get very tiresome. But, unfortunately, they are backloading fights. And 6 and 7 suffer from this. Why is that bad? Because when you have gear, you'll never fucking see it. Like, in static, it's gonna be really fucking boring. Because you won't see the hard bits. Like, and that's not good. Like, you want to put harder mechanics, like, at least midway, like Cachexia. Or even earlier on. Like, at least, like, Rampant was 2 minutes into the fight. As fucking horrible as it was.
Safe spots.
Unfortunately, gear is just going to completely destroy this fight. And it's going to destroy P7 as well. Like, you can't backload fights like this. You can't just decide, oh, here's like a soft enrage or some shit. Like, it's just, it's boring, man. PF will see them. Yeah, they will. But it's just going to become like the new enrage. Like, remember Void Gate 2? Jesus fucking Christ. It's just like you get there, nobody's learned it, so you wipe. Like, amazing. So, we should have tank LB'd this mechanic much earlier. Wait, was it this mechanic? No, it's the fucking.
And then move to 3. To see.
Why did my sprint not go off, dude?
I was getting a bit annoyed. This is poly fight. What the fuck? So yeah, like the next one we decided to tank LB. We should have done that hours earlier, man. I don't know why we didn't. Someone had said it. It was brushed off. I didn't even hear it, I don't think. But like, we should have done that hours ago just to save time. One thing I think we could have done better with this prog is make better use of tank LB. We definitely didn't do that enough.
Next is
Next is hell.
But hey, you live and you learn, huh?
Remember, try and get it right. Call the right place. Remember your...
Center is the plus square. Center is the plus square. Check your sync.
I think we could have dealt with this mechanic better, but like, I was really bad at figuring it out, so there really wasn't much I could say. But like, look, considering that like, we're on this mechanic now, here's the mechanic. Here's the big hard one. The boss is at 5% on week 1. You're never gonna fucking see it again. Like, Square Enix, you fucked up. Like, okay, yeah, PF, it's obviously not gonna be this low. It's gonna be higher. But this is so early on, I'm pretty sure. At least you're not sacking because you don't know mechanics and releasing it as a guide. Yeah, I ranted about that like minutes ago. And I'll rant about it again next floor. Be ready. Like, holy fucking shit, man.
Center is 2. 2 is center.
Was I? Yeah, I was in the right place here, yeah.
Nice.
He's panic.
Someone looked at us.
Yeah, what the fuck?
No?
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck?
Well,
nothing's happening. It's still...
Saren,
Yeah,
wait, was it me? Oh shit, my bad.
2.
Wait, are you sure? I was green.
Oh,
That fire's behind me.
Just get in the
Clean,
fuck out of here,
baby.
man. Holy shit.
You had Snake.
Holy fuck.
Why didn't we tank
I
LB
did.
like 2?
Bait, everybody.
We're still alive. Yeah, I'm healing us, but we...
No.
Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, right, yeah. Shit, okay, yeah, you're
Nice.
I was looking
He's
at the color.
winning.
I looked at the wrong one. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Oops.
No.
Yeah, we'll stun. I'm bleeding.
Oh, well.
Oh, I got kicked out, man.
Yeah,
Fuck.
I'm healing us,
Oh.
but we got... Anyway.
2.
God damn
Bait,
it.
everybody bait on 2 and then move. Oh.
Yeah, then, you know, that's P6. Like, overall, like, it's a cool idea. I just think it's gonna get
Just get in the
trivialized at some
fuck
point.
out of here, man. Holy shit.
And again, like, the fucking, like, harder mechanics being later, Jesus Christ, is just the worst fucking shit, man. Yeah, like, it's just so sad. Like, backloaded fights aren't good because gear has such a huge effect on early fights. Even later ones, but we'll get to it. I know. We'll get to it. Like, holy fucking shit, man. Oh my god. I'll read out subs and follows at the end, by the way. Thank you for those resubbing. Like, I just... Stop putting the hardest shit at the back of a fight, man. Or at least put it in a place where it's not gonna be skipped. Jesus fucking Christ. Alright, P7. P7's funny. P7's pretty funny. I was scared of this fight. Because I didn't know what it was gonna do. In Savage. I couldn't like comprehend what it was gonna do. Spoiler alert, it does fucking nothing. Right, this fight felt really, really uncreative to me. It felt very boring. Like, it looks cool, but it's so boring. Like, the first half of the fight, you do nothing. Again, P7, very backloaded fight. I think this took us about another 5 hours or so. We cleared 5 to 7. Day 1, was happy with that. Little did we know what was coming next. I was tired at this point. You can see my eyes, man. I was fucking tired. Yeah, like, I really don't know what to say for the first part of this fight. Like, it's just so... It felt so slow. It just felt padded out for time. Like, it's combining mechanics, which, you know, makes you kind of wake up and look. E7S all over again? I don't know. I don't think it's E7S all over again, because E7S had an ad phase, which basically dictated when you enrage to an extent. That was really weird. I don't like having this shit in my face. Like, when you have to stand on the small safe spot on the other side, or at least with the way we did it, like, seeing that with these branch hands in my face, really fucking annoying. Every time I saw that tank buster go off and saw the twister animation, I kind of pooed myself a little bit, by the way. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, I kept thinking someone had been hit by a twister or something. I actually have PTSD. Like, it's so bad, man. And because you hear, like, the fucking LB click as well. I'm like, what the fuck? Stop it. You know, I quickly come to my senses. Maybe I was just fucking tired. I definitely was at this point, but... My god. But yeah, once we figured out that, like, the lines on the platforms were, like, basically where you could stand, like, that was really helpful. Arena markings are always a good tell. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just, like, the start of this fight was just... Really boring. So at this point, I think was when we noticed that, like, they were answering people's plight about, like, timers for debuffs and stuff that you could see on other people by creating a separate debuff that has, like, 1, 2, or 3, or 4 on it to notate that you were going off first. I don't know if this was the way to do it. I don't know why they couldn't just put timers on the raid frames like the plugin does. You know what I mean? But it was around about this fight that we noticed that when you have a separate debuff next to, like, your actual debuff, like, it's just a debate. That's not doing anything but telling the rest of your team that you're, like, that person's going off first, that person's going off like, second, etc. Plug what? But yeah, you get it, right? P6 still has time stuff. It does. It was a bit inconsistent this tier, but they were doing it, and it was weird. Like, the most notable one was P8S with the snakes and stuff. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. I don't know, man. Like, man, they made a new bridge pattern. Amazing. A new fucking bridge pattern. Thank you for this addition to Savage. Our summoner Ventus correctly identified that there was an egg variant that wasn't used in normal. The one with the fucking cheesy smile on it. And it was used here, so that was pretty cool. Nice job working that out. God, the Minotaurs, man. Jesus Christ. Right, Serenaya has a chariot, a dino, and a tank bus, and has a twister animation. Because it's boring as fuck, man. Like, big circle bosses with infinitely wide hitboxes with health that just took forever to go down. Like, 11-minute 20 fight or something. Like, it's just so... I don't know, man. Like, it was hard not to fall asleep. Like, here's the first remotely difficult mechanic, like, to figure out. The first use of the big smileys. Once we figured out this was baited, that was pretty cool. Isn't every boss an infinite hitbox, a machinist? Yeah, but, like, when you spend the whole time in it, like, I just feel like there's no optimization here for, like, melees or anything, man. I felt bad for you guys. Like, for me, it's whatever, yeah, but... This is where it started getting slightly more interesting. We were like, okay, cool. You're not a melee, why does it matter to me? Because I don't just look at it from my perspective. Obviously, people can chime in and give their own opinions, but, you know, I look at it just from, like, the perspective of everyone, you know? I'm sorry, I won't do that. I'll stop doing that. What do you mean that's baited? The Minotaur in the middle. Like... Yeah, it's the closest people bait is cones. So, this mechanic... We were struggling with people dying to it for a bit. And then we realized it was better to just stretch the tethers far so you could aim it better and other people could see where it was the birds were going better. We kept having deaths here. And we were like, man, this is really fucking annoying. But then we realized, wait, why don't we just go to the other end of the platform? And then you can just arm's length and just show people where you're aiming it. And then we just never had a death again. It's also role-based for no reason. Oh shit, you're right. It is. Haha! I don't think we actually... Did we pick up on that? I don't know if we picked up on that. But either way, like, not like it matters really, but... I did? Okay, you did. Dimly was our strat master, man. The mastermind. Yeah, like, it's not like it mattered, right? I guess. Fuck this 2-minute window, by the way. Right, this shit sucks. Like, thank you. Yes, I love just losing a wildfire GCD. Appreciate it. I think it might be better to delay there, I assume. Alright. Inviolate Purgation. Here we go. I mean, I call this the Light of Life mechanic just because it was easier to say than Inviolate Purgation. Because God, is that a fucking mouthful. But again, like here's what I mean, right? So like, you know, things going off first, second, third, fourth. Nice clarity. Think they could have just put timers, but you know, this is fine, I guess. What about FF6? So this is this FF6? Shite of life. So this is FF6. Jesus fucking Christ, man. Why are we counting this shit? Like, once we figured it out, like, it's quite a cool mechanic. Apparently there's a brain-dead way to do it now. But yeah, like, this tier's naming conventions need work. Like, they really do. I think somebody, I don't know if I was just hearing things, but I think somebody in our group kept calling it predation and I was having nightmares. Like, I do like, we'll talk about damage output for a second. I do like the damage output in this fight though. I do like that, you know, you constantly had to stack for heals. Like, there was a fair bit of damage. I nearly died here. Very nice. Insanely easy. I mean, that's good. Alright, cool, thanks. I'll look at this in a bit.
Raid wide. Everyone.
Top should be... Oh, wait,
Fuck him, yeah.
Watch out a bit.
But this, you know, like, so you get to this point in the fight and you finally have to fucking wake up, you know? Like, now finally there's mechanics happening. Like, this fight, again, so backloaded. I don't know if you'll skip this. But you will skip the fucking harvests. And I have a complaint about the harvests. The harvests, too. Alright, FF7, here we go. I'm now counting with you, chat. I'm on board. I'm on board. I'm counting. So, like, this is, you know, kind of cool, I guess. Ooh, baited AoEs. Alright, we probably have to run towards a bird. Oh, look at that. You run towards a bird. Don't know, man. Like, this fight just felt weak to me. I was actually disappointed with this fight. It just felt like they ran out of ideas. And the harvests proved that to me. Here, they just fucking ran out of ideas and went, fuck it. Have all of it! All of it in one! Alright, man. Cool. Soft enraged. Love it. Can't wait to never do this in a month when you all have weapons. It's like the designer of the fight just like... It's like he was doing a Jenga tower while he was designing this fight, right? And then he got to like, okay, the last 20% of the fight. And then he accidentally knocked the Jenga tower all over like this fucking sheet or like his keyboard or something. And then he looked at it and he went, yo, that's fucking genius! And then that's how this mechanic came to be. He also never casts a buster after purgation. Yeah, like he just stops bustering. Tanks just have to turn their brain off.
What window when?
The next 2 minutes. It's in about 1 minute from now.
Don't worry about that. Just focus on the count.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't like this mechanic. It just felt very sort of shoved in. Like, fuck it, man. Let's just make a fucking mess. I don't even know if I was doing this right, by the way. Like, I mostly understood our strats, but not entirely.
Damage down, but I don't know how bad it is.
There's an Elmo strat for this mechanic. Amazing. Does it involve the tanks doing everything? We had no strats for the harvest. Yeah, it was a bit YOLO. And this pull, it worked. Because I remember getting, like, annoyed because I was confused with, like, what we were trying to do. So, like, we lost people here because they couldn't stretch it enough. I don't know what we were doing here, man.
Get 2 people up. I'd say so.
But fuck me, man. We just heal our bead and got it done.
Oh, my shoulder!
Fuck me, man.
Still have, yeah, we've got this mechanic.
Healer stacks.
It's fine. Like, I just don't understand. Like, at the end, they just decided, fuck it, dude. Give them all the ads.
For the next raid word.
Figure out this slaps ass. Like, oh my god, dude.
As long as healers can get us through this next raid word, we're good. No repairs.
Holy shit, but hey, we got it done. It was like the end of the day, it was late. Like, look at the time, man. It was like past midnight. I was so glad we just got it done, you know. We faced everything outside in Tank LB3. Yeah, that's fair. Tank LB3 would have been viable too. Again, I think we didn't make enough use of Tank LB. I think we could have saved prog time with that, for sure.
Congrats on your 630 weapon.
But yeah, man.
Tomorrow
Jesus Christ.
3 out of 4.
What? I'm already on the bottom. You don't have to drag me further.
Fucking Christ, man. So that was P7. Again, backloaded, and it just felt very uncreative. I think they could have done more. But hey, so I think P6 and 7 are kind of the blemishes on this tier. Alright, I need a fucking can of energy drink for this. It's P8 time. Yeah, if you guys are like blind progging and stuff, we're doing we're talking about P8 now. So if you're not here yet, then obviously you probably don't want to watch. Oh god. Alright. So P8S. P8S. Look at the toolbox. Oh yeah, the P7S brain dead toolbox, right? Yeah. Alright, so you spread out like this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yo, Dimly, can we steal this for reclears? Yeah, like, this solves the healing issue we were having. Because, like, we were basically drive-by healing. We were, like, crossing over at the bridge, like, alright, take a heal, run, run, run! It's already in the Discord. Oh, is it actually? Okay. We're doing this next week or not have it any other way. Yeah, like, this just solves the healing problem. We were, like, doing fucking drive-bys. I can't believe it, man. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. What is this? How did we not figure this out? Jesus. Oh well. It's fine. It's okay. Also has markers for that strat. Okay, cool. I mean, alright. I'm looking forward to PF. I just don't really have the energy right now, man. I'm still a bit, like, mentally exhausted from prog. Alright. Anyway. Okay, so... Okay. They got it after the clear. Alright, I see. Holy fucking shit. Anyway, P8S. Oh boy. So the one I uploaded was a cleaner pull on my part, just because I played better. But let's talk door boss, right? I'm just gonna talk about it mechanically first. At the end, I'm at the end of like my discussion of P8S. We will talk about the elephant in the room. Yo, what's up, Java? Grats again for yesterday. Happy to be there to see it. So I was hearing this song in my head for like all of yesterday after we were done with this, man. I like the song, but Jesus fucking Christ. Oh. Thank you, Java. Appreciate it. So like this fight was fun to figure out.
Very durable now, even with the death at the end, which is
like,
surprising.
This fight is fun. On its own, this fight is fun. I like the dance. I like the speed. I like the pacing. I like the mechanics generally. Fuck snakes with a burning fucking passion. And fuck the fact that we had to do early buff timings to make buffs less aids if you got Rampage first. That was annoying. That kinda sucks. But I enjoy the clarity of this fight, generally. There's one problem with it, I'll talk about it when we get there. But like, buff windows in this fight, kind of a pain in the ass. Heard your snussy jokes. Is Gal here? I don't know if Gal's here. 16 hours of the same song. I don't know how long it took us to actually prog this, but we were done with 5 to 7 on day 1. And this took us from the start of day 2 to like evening of day 4 to get the second phase down. We got to phase 2 on day 3. We were on this fight for a whole day. But I don't know, man. I like this fight. I think mechanically this fight is very cool. There's a lot of stack and spread again. Which, you know, if you fuck it up, it's hard to recover. But why is it hard to recover? Because you're gonna fucking enrage. Alright, look, no. I can't go past this fight without talking about it. So we're gonna talk about it, right? I'll talk about it a bit more after phase 2. We're gonna talk about some of it now. What the fuck is this DPS check? In fact, no. I don't. Okay. Alright, that's better. I had to get that out for a sec. Tell us Machinist. No! Machinist is not the fucking problem. But why is Paladin in the fucking bin? Why is Warrior in the bin? Why is Red Mage, like, teetering on the edge of the bin? Why are certain comps just fucked with this fight? How can you create a boss with so much movement where, at least in prog, like, you can't really optimize it too much and then make it this hard to put down? Machinist is also pretty bad. Machinist is not that bad. It's not as bad as you think. Did a Reaper clear yet? Yes, yesterday. Our Paladin had to switch to Gunbreaker. Our Gunbreaker then switched to Dark Knight. DPS went up immediately. Like, Square Enix, like, you are in shambles with job balance. If you're gonna make job balance this bad, you need to make the DPS check not this bad. You can tell us you didn't bother really tuning the fights all you want, but you absolutely did here, and you did not tune it for 610 eye level. There is no fucking way. Machinist does quite well in P8. No, I'll talk about it in a bit. Like, this is, like, in a meta comp with God crits, maybe it's possible. But I firmly believe that this is not doable without some gear. Like, what the actual fuck? Without, like, insane optimization of your strats. Unfortunately, chat, I think I kinda have to eat my words for a little bit here. I don't want to. But for the first time, I have to eat my words a bit here. Because I'm not sure if this is doable with double fizz range. Not week 1. Week 2 onwards, yes. Don't get me wrong. Week 2 onwards with a bit more gear, yes, I think it's doable. And I'm not gonna change my tune. Like, especially, like, in a couple weeks' time. And, like, stop grating on people for double melee locks and shit. Like, it's still gonna piss me off. I'm still gonna mold about it. And I'm still gonna call people stupid. However, week 1, I just don't... I don't know if it is. I don't think anyone's tried. So, we don't know for sure. I kind of wish we did. Just to shit on everybody. But I actually don't know if it's doable. Job balance is in fucking shambles this tier. Why are tanks, like, so far apart right now? Why are ranged so far apart right now? Why why are certain jobs so far below the other? It makes no fucking sense. I don't understand. I realize they wanted to make the last fight hard. I am perfectly okay. Let me be very clear. I am perfectly okay with a hard DPS check. I like hard DPS checks. I like being pushed to play well. What is this? My saviors. It has actually been done. Oh my fucking god. What group is this? Who are these people? Who are you? How many 630 weapons? I'd imagine maybe. Yo, maybe they did split clears. They might have done split clears. Growlers and showers from NA. Okay. Oh yeah, right. It's on BMF. Yo, it's a primal group. Nice. It could have been. I don't know what gear these guys have. I honestly can't be bothered to check right now. But like, you are my heroes. I'd imagine they've probably done split clears. Maybe is this a re-clear after they cleared phase 2 with a different comp? Maybe. I don't know. Like, I'm not removing this idea that like big optimization would make it possible. Like, I don't want to say that like double fizz is not possible, but I'm not sure. Like, without like split clears or going in with like a P8 weapon. I'm really not sure. Like, it really depends on strats and stuff. I don't want to completely discount the idea. But like, that's not really the point. Like, the point is that job balance is just absolutely fucked right now. Like, it's actually so fucked up. You cannot have jobs this far apart in this game. For a dev that like seemed to balance pretty well in Shadowbringers, they've fallen the fuck off this expansion. Like, it's crazy, man. And again, onwards from week 1, it changes. Like after week 1, it's gonna be way more possible, and every job will probably be viable again. And so again, I'm still not gonna like, I'm not gonna say that double melee locking is like justified, because it's not really. But PF are gonna do it worse than ever. It's gonna be worse than ever. And that makes me sad. I think the check is about 61.5-ish. Like, to like the absolute minimum. I just don't like it when Square Enix lie, man. I don't like it when Square Enix lie. And say like they probably aren't bothering with tuning, and that they just did it for P8. They did it for P8. This guy's crit rate was fucking terrible. 1 out of 8. Because they definitely tuned this for above 610. There's no way this is for 610. Absolutely not. This fight is 100% gear gated. 100%. Now, our damage on clean runs, we fucking pump, man. Like, this group, absolutely insane DPS. I'm very proud of this group. Like, this group really fucking pulled it out. But it is a shame that, like, especially tanks right now, like, I'm not even thinking about, like, the disparity between Machinist and Dancer right now. But fucking tanks, like, tanks are in fucking shambles, dude. What the fuck happened? How do you fuck it up that hard? I am a huge advocate, chat, for play what you want. If you enjoy a job, you play that job. Don't let statics tell you what you can and can't play, when in 99% of cases it doesn't matter. Especially, like, even if you're a hardcore static, you're good at the job you play. You make it work. At a world race level, maybe a different story, but I don't know if I'll ever be that good, so I can't speak for that. But I just don't get how how this happens. I'm so glad there's a double fizz clear, because it proves it can be done, but I'm not convinced that that's with like that's without like split clears or like a savage weapon, and they've then like gone back in to clear it. This is gonna turn PF into a fucking mess of double melee bullshit. When, like, the reality is, next week onwards, it's gonna be a non-issue again, because enough gear is gonna be there. Opinion about Machinist memers killing after you? I'll get to the meme world first Machinist thing after phase 2 talk. The short story, the short of it is that it's a meme, not an accolade. It's not that important. I'm just somebody stupid enough to play the job. But again, I'm a huge advocate for play what you want, and I hate that Square Enix is like force people off of their favorite jobs. just for this DPS check. But streamer, most people don't clear week 1, so it doesn't matter. Because week 2 onwards, it's fine. So many people do this week 1. They need to do better. You can make a DPS check tight, but you better make sure the jobs do enough damage to do it. I've seen statics disband over this. I've seen like so much heat happen like on random streams and shit because they can't beat the enrage. So that's a worrying precedent for the ultimate. Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I hope they learn from it. But it's just so like there's certain comps that just can't make the check. There are absolutely certain comps that can't make the check, yes. Para's group is the only warrior paladin door boss. Yeah, I've seen that. Para's a gamer. Yeah, free 1KD from playing meta will still be impactful. But it's not free. It's not free if people aren't playing their job optimally. And I guarantee you that to a certain extent, people playing worse jobs better are still going to out DPS meta classes playing poorly. Now, that's obviously not the case for everyone. Like, if you're better on a meta job, play the meta job. You know, I think some people do think that I'm like I'm against people playing meta jobs, which is not which is definitely not it. If you like that job, play that job. Like fuck. But unfortunately, like this is gonna make PF so bad. And it fucking sucks having to like being able to flex is nice, obviously. But like if you want to play your favorite job and you can't because like PF is locking you out. Even though you might do better than the fucking idiots that join on meta jobs that can't play for shit. Because let's be honest, it's not like 5 to 7 require it. Like that, like... That's just a feels bad, man. Yeah, same Zer, man. Yeah, like Xeno's a devout warrior, Zeth's a devout paladin. And they don't get to play it. I was lucky, chat. If we still couldn't make the check, I had to drop the gun. Streamers are telling people to lock double melee. For week 1, maybe, yeah. But if they're telling them to do that in the future, then no. Stop. I will go against the grain. I always have and I always will. It's just sad, dude. For one boss as well. This fight goes down in the history books. Like, actually. It's funny because like it's a good fight. It just the DPS check itself is not tuned properly to account for Square Enix's poor balancing situation. Very capable players just getting walled by the job that they play. Like that's so fucked up. That's so stupid. How the DPS checks on the other fights? Trivial. Not even a competition. I think it's the price you pay for a week 1 clear. This isn't WoW. WoW always has balance issues because they have like much more complex classes in terms of like traits and like talents and stuff. several specs for each job or class even. Balance here was pretty good all throughout Shadowbringers, and now but Endwalker they've just fallen off, man. It's hard to get together the words, really. But yeah, again, I must stress, beyond week 1, you will have the gear to beat this with a much wider variety of compositions. Gear is very strong in this game. So if PF are still locking out your job next week, even more so the week after, you have a right to be mad. I understand that PF wants to cover their ass, but holy hell, man. And I hate that I have to eat a few of my words. Especially on that Reddit thread about comp viability. Because without split runs, at the very least, I don't think like every comp is viable here. Being able to clear week 1 with any comp is how it should be, in my opinion. If it's not, they fucked up somewhere. I'm not gonna claim that balancing the game is easy. Of course it isn't. Anyway. Onwards!
There was only 2 tiers.
As I said, I like this fight.
Them from like Stormblood onwards, and that was Eden's Gate and Eden's Verse. After that, they went back to door bosses, which I prefer.
Yeah, like really capable players having to fucking swap is fucked, man.
Wait for buffs.
And maybe some of them are fine with it. I just... I'm not fine with it. I don't like this idea of forcing people to play certain jobs. I think it's awful. Of course it's nice to flex jobs. Good players will do so. I would have done so if I needed to. Thankfully the tank change was all we needed because we were so close anyway.
3.
I think now with the comfort we have on this fight, I think Paladin would have been doable. But, you know, at this point we'd spent a whole day on it. We were very close to Paladin Machinist with 1 heal damage down, but it still sucks having to entertain swapping. Yeah, exactly, but it really sucks, man. Again, I think we could do it now. Pretty easily. Because we're so comfy on this fight. Like, if we don't wipe, like, we're so good, but... Anyway, here's what I said again about like the visual clarity they've added. Instead of adding debuff timers, they've added like 1s and 2s on a separate debuff. I feel like it's kind of a debate. Honestly. Yo, what's up, Norby? But once you understand that, you learn to just never really look at it again. God damn, these patterns were nice. Fuck these gazes though, dude. God damn. I hated drifting due to playing this safe. It felt so bad. Went right back on that design decision for Snake 2. I mean, kind of, yeah. It was a bit inconsistent. I like Snake 2 though. I think it's a much more like structured mechanic. But, like, my eyes were constantly glued to this guy's HP, man. Like, it was so... It was so scary. But yeah, with that discussion aside, and I will come back to it after phase 2. With that discussion aside, like, this is a cool fight. The fight itself is fun. I like it. I enjoy it. Here's the visual clarity problem. I don't like that they're all bubbling, but 2 of them are bubbling more. We had a few wrong calls on that, but like... I do feel like... I do feel like they could have done a little bit better with this. It was a little bit difficult to see. But we enjoyed figuring this out, I think. I like all the movement, like literally fuck your casters or healers, but you know. I think this is definitely something we're gonna optimize. Because this is the fucking worst. Like, we definitely lose damage here.
Spreads and outs.
Same shirt from your YouTube video. I'm not wearing a shirt at all, man. I'm wearing a sweater or a jumper. Yeah, no, this is a fun fight. I like the pacing. I like the damage output. And again, I do enjoy having to push things to the limit, you know? It's so rewarding killing this week 1, knowing how hard it was.
Away.
In the DPS check. Can you wear nothing?
Pairs.
No. Who's the Dark Knight? They seem like a really cool and hot person. Okay, man. I don't like suck your own dick anymore.
Get knocked. Then line towards C. Line towards B.
Pairs.
Pairs.
I nearly fucked up here. My tactician
Knock
timing
towards
sucked.
four,
I'm
four,
sorry.
four, four.
I was bad at this
Line
fight,
towards
dude.
C. Line towards C. Line. Wait. And then go towards D.
Cool mechanic. Fuck the downtime, but cool mechanic.
He's gonna teleport middle, then tank buster on A.
Yeah, this... It's just so sad that it's like a blemish, man, because this was fun. I don't have any other notes on this fight. I don't know what else to really say about it.
Melee LB. Snakes.
Out and melee LB.
Again, having to like fuck around with buff timings was a bit annoying. But I think that's okay. Like, I think that's a nice thing to optimize. Just fuck snakes. I was bad at snakes. And like the snapshots felt very, very weird and inconsistent at times.
Play the safe and we've got it.
DPS puddle.
But this is a big execution check. Fuck dog first, yeah. Like, I've had people ask me about that. And I just, like, some people are delaying, and I said, well, I think that loses you 1 minute. So I'm not entirely sure, though. Like, I've not actually checked the timeline, but people were fairly sure it does.
I'm safe.
Yo, nice fucking chainsaw delay, Saren. Good job, man. Good job, dude! You suck!
Bro, how did we ever struggle? This is so easy.
Just kill it, bro.
What the fuck? Hello?
Just damage, yeah. Indication.
Holy
One shot,
fucking
baby.
shit, dude.
How did we ever...
How
Yeah,
did
I don't know,
we
man.
ever struggle?
Snake
Shut
spawner
up,
is
how
different
did we
times
ever
on how
struggle
far
with
they
this?
tunnel.
This is when I bring back
Yeah.
the
What?
in. This is when I bring
Propagation is
What?
definitely a thing.
What? Then we sat there going, this is how we struggle.
Alright. This transition,
No,
very cool, by the way.
Just had a massive
Dude.
mental block, I
The
think.
first time we saw this, like, I was really
Hitting it
impressed.
and then always fucking
People are-
Like,
people are
goddamn, like, this
definitely
guy just
pressing
becomes like a
buttons a lot
fucking
more.
Resident Evil creature. Like, Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
I get very much.
What the fuck?
Can't even play Gunbreaker.
You think part 1 and 2 last long
This
enough?
is
Yeah,
fucking sad.
I think so.
Poor Paladin, man. I actually feel so bad for Paladin.
Okay, Gunbreaker plays itself, so it's
Oh, I'm the same. I hate like pushing people off what they want to play. I really hate that.
What?
Goddamn, this
I'll
guy
tell
is,
you that I don't think the Gunbreaker pick is actually the deciding factor. Like, it's,
I mean,
Like,
it's
holy
like a fun-
fucking shit, dude. Actual
I'm doing
mutant.
like 100 more, and Cat's doing 100 more by being dark.
So, let's move on to phase 2 then, shall we? Move on to phase 2. So,
dying on the side every time. Clearly.
fight is very cool. We decided not to be blind here, so we stopped
Just
being
not
blind
realizing
here.
we're not having enough time to heal and move.
We decided to just look it
Yes,
up,
they
get
can-
it
I
done.
just don't need to heal. I need to just do that.
It was very nice. So, you know, I was a bit nervous about a circle boss phase 2. I was like, oh god, I hope it's not fucking boring. But, moving straight into it. The natural alignment mechanic with like the baits of the fire and ice and shit. I think that's cool. Tanks also appear to be having a good time. I like the idea of being able to like invuln cheese the autos. And like stack autos is also a pretty neat idea that I don't think they've done before. Maybe, maybe not. But that's quite neat. That's pretty neat. I can see these stack autos being abused a lot of the party for like speed strats for LB. Yeah, I think that's going to be a big thing. But I like this like unique way of like displaying cast bars. I think they did a good job with this fight overall. But I do have gripes with it. Would you recommend our ice fire strat for PF? I think it's okay, but I think it could be better. like this run here, like me doing a fucking marathon here, holy shit. There are better strats now. But I think this strat is like, it's not great, but it's okay. I think we could have simplified it though. But I mean, like, why bother, right? It worked for us. The music, for what it's worth, really good. I don't remember what Echo's strat is. I was watching him yesterday, but I don't remember what it is. Using the Reaper as a cooldown for autos if your co-tank dies. Nice. Yeah, the fire and ice and shit is cool. I like that. Alright, let's talk about high concept. Hello World 2.0, except the boss isn't targetable.
Right thing. CB.
Going north. As with all puzzle mechanics, the obvious problem is the fun is in figuring it out. Once the mechanic is figured out, it's not that interesting anymore. The indicators and stuff are very cool. I like the uniqueness of these. They've not really overused things, or like reused things. I like the concept of the mechanic. Oh yeah, the high concept raid wide is a soak, by the way, much like relativity. Is it always the same pairing? No. Hello World did it better. Hello World did it better because the boss was targetable, so it was fun. No, they are not the same. One of my gripes of this mechanic is that in the mechanic you could either be doing a lot or quite a bit of nothing. So it's got like that disparity where sometimes you'll be doing a lot of shit and sometimes you won't be. I think this is more apparent in High Concept 2 than 1. Oh, you mean it like that? Yeah. Those are the same. Yes. Sorry. I thought you meant like the same people getting the same things. It was like, no. Yeah, like Long Deformations did a fair bit of nothing.
Water.
But I mean, like the idea of the mechanic is cool. The damage output's pretty nasty. So that's cool as well. I kind of like that there's like a debate in the way that you can like fuse accidentally at the end and wipe you at the end of the mechanic. Like they definitely did their best to try and trip you up. But again, like I think the fun would have been in figuring this out. Like the high concept mechanic itself is cool. But once it's solved, and I'm going to get to this in high concept too, I think it's a little bit boring. So raid wides of bleeds, this is very common. But it was quite a bit of damage. Again, I liked the damage output from the bosses this tier. A fair bit.
Desolation.
Limitless Desolation, like kind of a cool filler mechanic. Pretty simple, a lot simpler than it looks. Looks very busy with initial fires, then AoE baits, and then towers. But once you understand, like, that you're basically just dealing with your own thing, and you can drop your shit on others and it won't matter. Like, it becomes pretty easy to execute. So I like that, I think that's cool.
This LD.
A fun little dance. Yeah, like, I don't know how people would have figured out the high concept 2, like, puzzle. I don't know, dude. Like, that must have been annoying as fuck. Like, I guess that's what 9th men are for, though, right? 0.15%. Yeah. Oh, boy. So now they do a natural alignment again. But either one or both can be inversed.
Both are inverse.
In this case, both were inversed.
Front row. Spread. Back row stack.
I just love the boss model. Like, I think the boss's model is insanely cool. Like, they really went all out on this tier, on, like, visual design. Like, the clarity has issues in places, but I think the overall designs have been really good. They've used, like, a lot of, like, new tells for mechanics and stuff, and I like that. It was interesting.
And left side.
Full tank CDs.
So, like, just for a bit of context, like, 5 to 7 took us, like, between 20 and 40 pulls to get through. Whereas, and obviously some of this was the DPS check. Like, 100, and it was like 190 for each fight on average. Like, for P8. Like, what the fuck? God damn. Holy shit, I really gotta pee. I'm sorry. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Let's go. Alright, so we're coming up to High Concept 2. Which was played up to be a really, like, way too dank mechanic. I don't think it was that bad. But again, we didn't figure it out ourselves. So, you know, a lot of the fun in these puzzle mechanics is figuring them out. It's not about executing them. Executing them, especially when the boss isn't targetable, is a little bit boring. However, there's another gripe I have with this mechanic, and we'll see it in a minute.
I'll go west.
In just a second here. The yellow. And I think the orangey brown as well. This mechanic has the uwu problem. It's the best analogy I can think of. So in uwu you have two paths. The non-awakened path that you obviously die to Ultima with because you haven't done it correctly. And then you have the awakened path, which is the correct one. Figuring that out, very cool. Pretty sick, you know. Cool, a nice puzzle to solve, right? But once you know the path you have to take, i.e. the yellow and the orangey brown are both debates. You never get those. The towers are never yellow. You never want the tree, etc. You just completely ignore them forever. So the puzzle part is solved, and the mechanic just becomes boring because you never look at those. So I don't like that they've put like a red herring in, that once you've solved it, just never becomes useful for any reason. I think they could have added like a bit more variety into the mechanic, and at least made those useful. Because you don't look at them in High Concept 1, and you don't in 2 either. So I think it's a little. I think that's a little bit stupid. I think they could have done something with these colors still. Maybe added something extra that you had to do. The problem is at that point it might have made the fights like downtimes a bit too long, which would have been kind of shit. Because you don't want too much downtime in Savage. Savage Unlock Quest pretty much tells you. I heard that it does tell you. Saving those for the ultimate in a couple years, yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Like, it's weird to me. Overall, again, a cool mechanic and a cool, like, more advanced high concept one. I just don't like that they've added red herrings. It's only ever gonna trip people up going blind, and once you figure it out, you just never pay any attention to them again. I think that's a bit silly. I think that's wasted potential.
Right side.
I'll take south.
Okay. So the bit we wiped most to on High Concept 2 was actually the tethers, because we can't orientate ourselves for shit. But we eventually got it. Look, we nearly fused. But, you know, nice touch, E7S birds, blah blah blah. And then you fuse the Ifrits and the winds together. And the birds together. And you make this. And then for some reason, like 4 of these makes 8 phoenixes. I don't know why. So, this is where I fucked up. I think what I should have done. Is used a 50 gauge robot before this, because right now I have just fucking basically wasted 50 gauge. And the Ifrits and birds not all stacked together? No, because they might fuse with each other by accident, I'm pretty sure. So I fucked up here and lost 50 gauge. I thought this might have been the enrage because I made a huge mistake.
Yeah, 40%.
If we enrage now, chat, it's my fault. Just saying.
Alright, a bit of trivia for you while we're here. During that cutscene, and this might help like groups struggling with damage. Dots are ticking during that cutscene. If you heal LB through that mechanic, through ego death, the boss just stands there for like 20 seconds doing fuck all. Like, he's just completely inanimate. You don't die. You save all your gauge and your resource. Apart from mana, I think. I think mana. Wait, no. There was something to do with Dark Knight. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, dots tick through this. The boss never leaves and you never die. You just go down for the count or something, I guess. So if you're struggling with like a tiny bit of extra damage, which honestly is going to be pretty dependent, like crit dependent in the last phase anyway. As we found out. At least for week 1. Make sure you have dots on before you go down. It's like a free cycle of dots that I don't think would be a loss for any class with dots. During this part. Use Salted Earth during the cutscene. Yeah, like Salted Earth, I think things like Star will persist as well. So, you know, I think you might might get an extra star. It's pretty smart. So I just like interesting little things like that. Anything else I wanted to mention here? Yes. So. Look at how valuable resources are in the last part of the fight. Make sure you have as much resource as possible going into this last burn phase. Big damn. I went in with on 100 despite overcap. Make sure you do so. Unironically insane the last phase. 5 in shrouds. God damn, that is actually pretty good, yeah. Holy shit. Alright, let's go. So this burn phase, pretty nerve-wracking, but not that difficult. It's a basic priority system. Yeah, I did hit both, yeah. 1. And then the next one's in a bit. Actually, I didn't get the second one under, I don't think. Maybe I did. I think I crit a lot during this phase. But at this point, as you can see, we were on a 0.15% in rage. It was fucking rough, man. It sucked. And that was pulls where I personally, at least, didn't fuck up. So I was so nervous, man.
In for heal and mitigation.
Anchor it for 105k. Massive.
Wait for bleed.
Spread now.
Spread. Check your debuff.
I don't know what to say, man. It was the closest kill I ever had. Reddit was right, chat.
Second set.
When you play with Machinist, you die to Enrage and you get lucky.
In for heal and mitigation.
I proved Reddit right. I'm sorry. I have failed you.
Yeah, just do one. Yeah, get two.
I think LB1 might be a loss here.
I'll do
Because it's not double damage.
Someone, please.
I'm pretty sure it might be a loss. I thought it was a gain because LB1 is usually always a gain, but I'm not sure. I went through the 5 stages of grief. I didn't even know what to say, man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Who was like, yeah,
You
I
guys
didn't wanna
fucking
say
popped
it,
off,
but, like,
man.
if
Thank
we
you
were
so,
late,
so
that
much
time
once
was
again
my
for all the
fault.
support during prog and shit.
I lost the whole robot, dude.
I played so badly. Like this
Who the fuck
prog,
was
I
like,
played
"This is a rare disease,
inconsistently
we beat
and I
phase
did
one."
not play well. I'm really not happy with my
And
own
this fight
performance
is much
still,
easier
but
to do max damage.
I'll take a
It's
day
still
4
my
clear.
fault,
It was
chat.
like
I don't know
world
what
top
it is
50.
with Savage Tears and me
no problem.
suck.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
like I.
I got an extra
Who's-
Phoenix.
Oh
I
my
literally got an
Look,
extra Phoenix.
6 of us died to enrage. And before any of you say it, no, this was not this was not a machinist problem. Yeah, it's a damage like propagation thing. It's only the black mage lived in ours. Yeah, I saw. Like it's just I don't know what to say, man.
As well, like,
Our 2 heroes.
Look at that.
Hey.
6 people
are
died to
honest.
enrage. Very nice. Yeah, we learned to get more DPS out of the
thing
fight.
is, I'm
yeah.
not even helping
I,
Machinist.
now
Yeah,
on.
I
Obviously, we have a
yeah.
weapon now, so like we're not gonna struggle. But like, we all realize what went wrong.
being stupid.
Last in the
Is that-
alphabet,
is that
maybe.
Ralph?
I actually don't know how it works. I guess
Yeah,
it's
but
just
like,
distance.
dude, it's just gonna fuel the
Oh,
fire,
let's
man.
go.
Like, they're gonna see 6 dead to enrage, and they're gonna be like, nah, Machinist is shit. When in reality,
another
I
Reddit
lost an
post.
entire robot.
So wait, is the play actually top 1?
Don't
So,
open it, don't open it, just take a picture.
Is the
Fire,
let's
man.
go.
Like, they're gonna.
So like, the SAM weapon dropped, a class no one plays. So we just gave our monk both the weapon and the chest piece. What went wrong? Just didn't play well. In my case, I just didn't play well, plain and simple. I'm just really bad. Sometimes, I don't know. But let's just address the other elephant in the room. Chat, this is not an accolade, okay? Right. You know, it sounds great. You know, I'm proud to fly the machinist flag that so few others want to fly. Either because they've been forced off of it, or because they're unhappy with it. You know, like one reason or another. I am proud to fly this very drab looking flag, you know. But this is not an accolade. This meme was never meant to go this far. It's just a meme, man. Like, it's sad. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs when a job clearing the tier for the first time is somehow a big deal. And this goes back to our discussion earlier. This should not be the case. This is ridiculous. It is sad how much higher Dancer is than Machinist right now. Bard is like... it's still a bit better, but I feel like Bard is more awkward to play. I think Machinist is a good mid-ground right now. You know, I see people saying that, like, oh, you know, it's good week 2 onwards, but week 1 you won't want to play it. Like, no, I disagree. I still disagree. Its consistent output and its ability to rely on itself is... It's valuable. We unfortunately struggle with a lack of personals. You know, with the fucking charity case getting babysitted by TBNs and fucking celestial intersections. Thank you guys, by the way. But on its own, it's a very reliable class to have with you. Because no matter how bad other people, how bad the variance is on other people, because Machinist, like, isn't that hard to play consistency, like, you're always a common denominator, you know? So I will always advocate for playing Machinist in proc. Unfortunately, like, the DPS check on P8 might have something to say about it, maybe. If the Dancer weapon dropped, would you swap? Until I got the Machinist weapon, yes. You know? But it is a very sad state of affairs when a job clearing is like a noteworthy thing that happens. Same with Reaper. I'm very proud to have the first Machinist and Reaper clears both on Light, both on Zodiac even though I was on my group's on Chaos, but you know. Like, it's... I don't know, man. I'm happy. You know, I don't know if I'm a meme, if I'm like some like weird legend, a myth, a griefer, or an inspiration at this point. I have no idea. But like the support for this, like all the Machinists like out there, just I don't know. I'm proud to prove that it's possible. Still. And I feel bad for anyone that gets forced to switch to Dancer, man. Like, that sucks. What if you love Machinist? I found it. But yeah, I don't know what to say, man. Like, just, you know, it's just know that, like, I get no ego from this. It's not a real accolade. It's not. It's just a meme. But if you want to play Machinist, chat, you play fucking Machinist. Please do not be told to switch. Play what you want to play. But overall, anyway, I'm gonna talk generally about the prog. I'm sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's some people out there that will tell me I'm griefing, but honestly, you can go and fuck yourself. Because a lot of people out there that will tell me I'm griefing, I guarantee don't even clear week 1. And whereas I'd never rat on someone for not clearing week 1, if you're gonna be a cunt, you better have the fucking brain cells to back it up. Anyway, overall, the prog was insane. Hello Ace. Welcome. Like, I think the prog was insane. I think the group did incredibly well. Four people in the group had never done hardcore before. Like, if I said you were griefing, would you fuck me? No comment. I don't know. I don't have the brain power to respond to that right now. Yeah, like, for 4 people's first time hardcore experience, like, we did insanely well. Again, we were like... At least according to FF logs, like, world 39th or something. I think it was a bit less than that. But... Sorry, I think it was a bit more than that. I'm pretty sure it was like top 50. So we did insanely well, considering we had no 9th man. So we weren't like, you know, proper racing. And half the group had never done hardcore before. Like, I think that's insane. I'm really happy with the group. What am I fucking doing, dude? My brain. Look, this group's called Make Machinists Great Again. And they didn't even play a machinist. Bruh! Come on, man! Yeah, it's because we kill bosses pretty fast, Ventus. On the speed rankings. How can you have a static called that and you play fucking Dancer, you traitor? Oh my god. Look, the 50 fastest groups didn't have a Reaper. Oh my god. Like, as in fastest, as in, like, kill duration. How many groups have cleared? 92 groups have cleared. So, like, a lot of groups cleared, like, yesterday and today. Holy shit. That's insane. But yeah, no, I think we did really well. I'm really happy with how we did. Again, I think like places for improvement. We spent a lot of time. We spent too much time speculating on mechanics. We just needed to pull more and see it rather than trying to guess. That definitely lost us some time. And also, we need to make better use of things like Tank LB, just to do it. I think like those are the 2 things we need to work on for next time. Just having a more proactive mindset. But I think besides that, like, easily like the best prog I've ever had, I think. And considering the challenges that P8S has posed, either via like the DPS check or the class balance and shit, I think the fact that we kept cool, kept our heads in the game, and got it done. Like, put it this way, chat. Like, my last prog in Asphodelos, whatever the fuck, we finished at the end of day 3, and that was like world 78 on FF logs. We cleared day 4, like, this group we cleared day 4. You know, later, and we were world 39th. Like, that's the disparity between these 2 tiers. Like, that's crazy. Holy fucking shit, dude. I mean, like, look, chat, the sample size. Look, the sample size, man. 3! You seen the Arthur's and Rage memes? No, not yet. Already more Reapers have cleared the Machinists. A DPS, though, actually okay. Like, we're actually alright. Like, I am, like, I'll admit, chat, like, I'm struggling with this idea that our DPS is, like, the single most important factor here. Because Machinists, like, in raw damage, fucking pumps. Now, obviously, I'm missing something in terms of, like, the importance of our DPS. But I think people are putting a little bit too much weight on it. I really think... Like, it's... I think people aren't seeing the full picture. To be honest. Fizz range is an RDPS role because of Dancer. And I've always said that this is a problem with Machinists, is that it doesn't suit the role of being a pure DPS in a role like physical ranged. But I think people need to stop looking at this so much and also consider this. I realize the importance of our DPS, okay? I'm not stupid. I understand the contribution of Dancer's buffs being very invaluable. But I think a well-played Machinist is nothing to be sniffed at. And I wish people would just kind of fucking... would just understand that a well-played class is better than a poor one, you know? Machinist at least beats Red Mage here, Lamal. Someone got 9.4k RDPS on Machinist, Jesus Christ. I've dropped really low on Door Boss now. I don't know why. Might just be a comp thing. Like, there's 46 Machinists trying to clear Phase 2 right now. Answer just scales extremely well with the skill of the group. Yeah, unfortunately. Which is why people say the lower you go down in group standards, like, the better Machinist becomes. But in a good group, a group can clear with any comp, big asterisk, P8S lol. So, you know, I still don't see the issue. It's just that if you're trying to be more competitive, I guess it's the better option. I don't know. It's difficult. Like, the sample sizes in general aren't big enough right now. Like, we need more data. We also need to account for gear. Also important. But I hope this shows Machinists out there who are being memed on constantly that your feelings are valid. Okay, this is getting kind of cringe, but you get it. Like, you matter and you are allowed to play it. It is viable. It is clearable. And people need to shut the fuck up. You don't have to play meta if you don't want to. If you're better at a non-meta job, you play the non-meta job. Makes you unable to have a Machinist or Dancer. Well, this is kind of where I disagree. Because I think you can. And as we've seen, like, P8S has been an anomaly in terms of, like, comp viability. But it's not mattered anywhere else. And, like, this is an issue on Square Enix's part. Like, they can't balance their game. I know it's kind of cope because it's like, yeah, but they're what makes Machinist what it is. And, yeah, I agree. But also, like, is it the fault of Machinist players for playing Machinist? Like, no. It's not. That's about all I have to say on it, really. I don't really know what else to say. Overall, I think the tier is very cool. I think the tier is a step up from last tier. I think the tier is very fun. I think, but overall, I think like 6 and 7 are going to suffer the most from gear gains. just because of the backloading. I think P8S has caused a major shake-up in the community about how this game is balanced, and I hope Square Enix listen to it and understand that they need to make some serious changes to their philosophy behind balancing this game. Maybe this is what we need for like physical range to stop being like in such a weird place, and tanks to stop being in such a weird place, and like to be honest, all of it, like there's a memed role in each one, you know? There's a memed role in each one, a memed class in each role. Paladin and warrior, like apparently Sage. I don't really know about that one though. Maybe healers are alright. I don't know. Ranged machinist, melee reaper, caster, red mage, like yeah, Sage. So like it's just I don't know what they did, man. Like it's just very, very it's just such a weird place to put the game in. I don't know. Hang on. I see people on the tweets saying that like it already is a norm, and like yeah, you're right, like you're not wrong. But I don't think we've ever been at a point where like people are just telling you to sack and saying I don't get this mechanic. Like it's not that it isn't a norm already, it's the fact that the norm is getting worse. And that's what I really dislike. Hey Hema, what's up? Congrats again. I'm just about done discussing it, but it's on the VOD somewhere. But yeah, man. We'll see. You know, my party finder expectations. Oh God. Oh God. Oh fucking God. I am scared of what PF's gonna be like this tier. I've seen some horror stories already, but I've also seen some good things happening. In the like, you know, the first week or so of PF isn't all bad. As usual. Jesus Christ, where is my loading? Right, it's fucking 81 parties. Good fucking God. So let's just have a look. Okay, so like they're allowing every class. Like, it's honestly hard to be mad at it right now. Like, I can't be mad at it this week. Next week, I can be mad at it. Because people will have more gear. But this week, like, it's actually kind of hard to be mad at it. But the double melee locking is gonna get so bad. Like, so unbelievably bad. And it worries me. Like, PF is gonna get worse.